We are back at it again. Last video I worked on getting this car on the rotisserie, and we worked on that. All right, let's talk. So we worked on this front edge of this thing. I got all the actual window track looks good, and like this section looks good, but it's warped terribly. So I'm gonna see if I can make one piece that comes along this edge. When we set it in, we cut it here. This is so thin, like the old metal's just so thin. It's not even 18 gauge. It's probably like 20 gauge at this point. It's lost so much, thickness from the rust. I don't know how I'm gonna do that yet. I'll figure it out and I'll let y'all know. Well, I've been messing around with it, and I kind of have a plan. Let's go over. Went ahead and just made us a template for this side, and I've got another piece of cardboard laying over here. I'm gonna make a template but for the whole thing. I'm not gonna quite come back that far, but probably pretty close. And then I'm just gonna take the template over and cut it out all out of one piece of metal and run it through the English wheel, because there's a roll to it. Get that roll back in it. I'm gonna cut it behind. There's a body line right there, and it's not bad in the front. Actually, the body line's not bad either, but I'm gonna cut it right behind. So I'll cut it behind that body line and weld it all the way down through there. Where it's attached to these, I had to actually weld that on this one. The other side hasn't released yet, but I'll hit that probably maybe with a torch or a grinder. We can just grind through this metal. It's pretty thin, and we'll grind all that down again. And then when we put the new piece in, I'll actually just tack it. It'll be fine. So that's the plan. I hacked this thing like, man, I'm telling you, the first piece I put in warped it, and every piece after that just kept getting worse. So it happens sometimes when you're building stuff, and really, we knew this thing needed a roof to begin with. So we're just trying to fix what's here, because we they don't want to spend the money to buy another one. That probably could have, but here we are. So I'm gonna see if I can make a piece and get it welded in today. Got us the template all made. I'm gonna go and just cut that out of some metal, and I brought the English wheel to us. We'll just run it through there, and hopefully we can get enough bend on it and brake on it, because it does both. It actually rolls this direction and this direction, so we'll get both on it. And then it's flat at this part, so yeah, it's good and complex. But we'll run it through there, see if we can get it to where it fits good. And I went ahead and got this where it fit really nice, and it's right. I kind of basically put it right at that brake all the way across. We'll come back a little from it, like I'll leave a gap like that when we're done. So but I'd rather have this too long, and I can just grind it back to what I want rather than it being too short. So that's good to go, and we'll pull it down and we'll see if we can get it into metal. Got our template laid out and traced, and we'll get it cut and we'll be ready to rock. Got her clamped up. I made a reference line. That's where it kind of bends down. It's pretty much flat behind that, except for it's got a little curve this way. So I don't think that'll be a big deal, but we're going to try to get that to roll this way on the English wheel first. You can see at the top it kind of rolls like as a turn. Same at the bottom. It's a good enough reference line, I believe. Let's just get her done. She's coming along good. You saw me run that through the shrinker. I pulled this edge down some. And I'm just going to keep doing the same thing I've been doing. Run it through the English wheel till we get the shape and shrink that edge a little. we should be good to go. But you look, I mean, it's going to be just fine. We're getting there. So I'm just going to get back to it, and I'll bring y'all back in a minute. Well, I finally have this thing fitting pretty good. Let me show you what we got. It actually looks really good all the way down. You can see that gap. That's because this is low. So once we get that cut out, I'll pull that up. That'll fix that, but everything else looks great. Got a profile tool. Put it up here. This is how I could tell that both sides were the same. Get that. There we go. Then we come down, just flip her over. Boom. So it gives our profile being the same on both sides. It's good to know. Everything else fit really nice. So I actually already marked the line in here. I'm gonna cut all this out and clean that up, and I may tack it today, but it's basically the end of the day or getting close to it. So there's no way I'll end up welding all this today, but I can get it started. So I'm gonna get on to that and get all this cut out, and we'll take a good look at what's inside. Spent some time tuning this up, and it's looking really good. It's exactly what we wanted. Here we go. So we do have issues. This is part of the old roof, and then you can see it's rotting right there. It's actually right there. It's getting ready to crack in half. So we're gonna cut it back here, take this out. I'm gonna go ahead and make this piece, I think, and put it in. Then I won't finish that today either, but then tomorrow we'll get this and this all welded in and done. So one of the things, Corey and I were just talking about it, we may be chasing this thing across the whole roof until we're done. Who knows? But I'm really afraid when we start welding on this, it'll make this glue just release as we go, and we'll just have to put it all in. We'll figure it out. I ain't worried about it, but we're gonna keep on doing this until we get her fixed. We are back at it again, and like usual, I've already been at work and doing some stuff. Let me show you what's up. So I've got this piece fitting really good. This will pull down, and it fits real nice now. I'm going to come in and do some tacks here and here, just so this is permanent. And then if we still like everything, I'm going to take this panel off, get it all welded, and I've got just a little bit. It'll be hard to tell. I've actually marked it. Got a little bit to take off right there, and it'll fit even better. And then I think we can finally weld all this in. If that doesn't warp all crazy, we'll be all right. I'm also going to put some rosette welds on this, and we're just going to weld this to that inner structure. So yeah, I'm going to put some tacks on it and get to work. I got it all welded in. It looks good. I'm very happy with that. And now, that's still hot, but that rolls down just fine. But yeah, I had to take the clamps off of it. I'm going to pull this off, spray a little bit of E-coat in there. I got a little bit left. I'm going to trim this up just a little better so to fit just a tiny bit better. So after that, I'm just going to put it back in and we'll start tack. That's going to take forever. So we got that welded and ground down. I put some E-coat on the inside. I've got the panel back. It's fitting pretty good. I've got all the clamps down here basically for the front part in the front. Just get that good and level, and I'm going to start. That's where we're going to start. Just tack. Put some tacks in. We'll move the clamps up, tack all that. I also went ahead and drilled some rosette weld holes so we can just boom all the way up, and that'll attach us to that brace permanently. And then at some point we'll have to weld this. That's where the rubber meets the road, so to speak. We may warp it again. If we do, we'll just do what we got to do. But we're hoping that we can get through this. Nope, it's not that long of a weld, so we'll just try to keep the heat down and do the best we can. So nonetheless, let's get to work. I got it all tacked in. I got the rosette welds in. I welded it to, spot welded it to the rest of the roof. That seems fine. Nothing warped really at all. It seems like it's going to be good. So let's take a quick look at it. Yeah, this is a much better repair. This is how you actually fix it. We were trying not to have to do all this, you know. It's a lot of extra expense. It'll take days to build all this, get it welded in. I'm on day 2 of it now, so they wanted to try to save some money and try to patch it. That's what we did first. So that didn't work out. So we're just going and weld this thing in now. I'm not going to show you hours and hours and hours of me spot welding, but that's what I'm going to do. So the next time you see it, it'll be welded in. But I'm going to go ahead and weld it. That'll probably take me the rest of the day. Hopefully, with any luck, maybe tomorrow we can move on to the rest of it. We are back at it this morning. Let me show you what we ended up getting done yesterday. We got all this in. I stripped the back. Let's just take a look. The front of this thing turned out excellent. So that all looks good. It will need of course, a little bit of body work, nothing crazy. I went ahead and stripped this. We didn't know what we were going to be getting into back here. So here's kind of what we're dealing with back here. So there was a hole here and here that they tried to weld. Still super thin there. They've warped like this whole area. Some pretty deep pitting there. There's pitting here, but it's not too deep. We have a hole down here, and basically this whole side for the window channel is bad, and then we got a hole there. But the rest of it is perfectly fine. I don't really know what the path is from here. We'll fix it. I don't know what we're going to do yet, though. So while I think about it, make a plan, I'll bring y'all back when we get ready to do something. But I don't know what that'll be yet. Well, I have a plan. I don't know if it's the end of the plan, but let me show you what we're going to start with, and we'll just get to work, right? I mean, that's all you can do sometimes. Just get after it and see what happens. So what I'm going to do is actually just start on this side. We got to make this window channel and we got to repair like this much of this window channel. So I'm just going to go ahead and get all that in, and I'm going to make it to where, just like I did on the front, I'm just going to make a break in it and then make the lower half and run it through the stretcher to get that curve, and then I'll do another bend and make this curve just right, and then yet another bend. So it'll be 1, 2, 3 pieces that we'll have to make, but I'm going to try to make them all off the car and just be able to just put that whole piece in all as one. That would be the preferred way. I really wish I could have done that on the front. I didn't know what I was going to have to get into, so we're going to go ahead and do that. We're just going to build this side, and then we'll build that little patch. So let me see if I can't get us some bends going, and yeah, not much to show about it. It should be pretty simple, I hope. Which means it won't be simple, and it'll be tough, and it won't go our way. But we're going to try anyways. We're going to get in here and get after it. So see if we can't get this thing fixed. Found some scrap. It happened to be 26 3/4 inches long. It's a little longer than we need, but it'll work just fine. I'm going to put just a little bit of a bend in this, and then we'll take it over and I'll see what's got to continue to have the bend put in until I get it like I want it. And this will end up being our window flange. So I've got the stretcher on this side, and I'm just going to run it through and try to get us a little bit of stretch going. That part's not terrible. Actually lays in there pretty good. Down here at the bottom, looks like I need to put a little more in down there. So I'm gonna go hit it with a stretcher right there a couple of times, and we'll see how it looks. Pretty darn good. Maybe I'll go ahead and cut this out, drill some holes. We might try to get this piece, just go ahead and weld it in, and it'll be good to go. So I got all that cleaned up. It turned out good. The inner structure was fine. It just was very rusty. So we got all the rust off of that. We're good to go. I'm not going to put that piece in yet. I'm actually going to make this outer bend and get it to where it lays on there good. And once it does, so we can figure out the depth we need and weld those two pieces together and put some holes in it so we can weld the new piece into the old structure. And then that'll bring us out to here, and then I'll make us a piece from here to here all the way across, and then we might weld all of it in together in one piece, or may go in two. I haven't decided yet. Nonetheless, let's get back to work and see what happens. This piece, we're just going to shrink it, the outer side a little bit, and that should pull us right together and we'll be good to go. Check it out, see how it fits. Not nearly enough. I'll just keep doing this till I get it to fit good. I'm not gonna make y'all watch me do that. I've been working on it for a while. I thought I'd bring y'all in and show you what we've got done here. So I got that lower piece in. I actually rounded this corner over and just welded it from the back side. So that makes a nice corner there, and we go all the way up here, would fit nice. So I've gone ahead and kind of done the same with this. I ground the top down to where she fits really nice. I've actually made a line already, and then I cut this and folded it out just like that. I should get a better shot, but nonetheless, that'll make a nice rounded corner in there. And then out here, we'll just be able to cut it because there's a hole right there. So we need to be able to patch that. So we're just going to do it all out of this one piece. but it fits pretty good. We'll have to come in and grind this section up, but I need to cut it out first so it fits in there, and we'll get it to where it fits really good, and then I'll tack it a little bit. And once it's tacked, I'll pull the whole thing out, weld these two pieces together, and then we'll put some holes in here for spot welds. Look at this. We got her fitting tight, good. This is what you're looking for. You want everything to line up like it should. Even the top fits really nice, like really nice. It's a little gappy right there. I'm cutting all that out anyways. And we'll have to deal with this a little bit, but I want to go ahead and tack all that together so those two pieces now, you know, become one, and they can't move anymore. So. Well, I've been working on this for a while. I've got this piece just fitting so good. I'm so happy about it. The end of it's not quite right, but I'm gonna show it to you. But we're gonna tack it together, and that way we can't lose what we got here. Take a look at this. That gap is tight, 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 tight. That's what you're looking for. And like even the top fits nice and flush. A little extra time at the beginning will save you so much headache in the end. So I'm going to go ahead and tack this together right quick so we can't lose what we've got, because it's good. And then I may start in on the next piece. I don't know what I'm going to do. It's almost lunchtime though, so that's coming for me. So yeah, let me tack this together, and I'll just figure out what we're going to do, and we'll get to work. Well, we had almost an immediate issue, and this happens sometimes when you're dealing with metal that's not real big. So when I welded this one, it moved it just a little, and then I hit this, and it didn't quite get it the first try, but the heat popped it up. So I'm going to go in and cut that, and we'll push it down and get it back closed up, and we'll be good to go. Went ahead and drilled some holes in our piece here. I'm going to shoot some E-coat on all this so it has some sort of coating, and then I'll also hit the car too. It's about empty. Anyways, I'm going to do this right quick, and we'll get this welded in, and it'll be in there for good. I got the holes drilled for the welds, and she fits in there still excellently. So I'm just going to go ahead and do some welding. We'll get it in there, and we'll move along. I think I'm going to do that next piece. And I am 100% sure we're going to put a whole top on this. So, yeah. I'll have to have some help from Corey to get the roof through the English wheel. It's too big, but we're going to try to do it all in one piece pretty much. We are back at it this morning. I've actually already been to work. That's, you know, my MO. We're going to cut the roof off this car today, I believe. But first, got the English wheel set up back here. I've cut a full sheet of metal, a 4x8 sheet of metal in half. I have a 48 by 48 piece. Corey and I are going to run it through the English wheel, 5,000 times and see if we can't make it look like this roof. So the plan is we're actually going to cut it in all the way back here. So we have a new roof. The whole thing will be new pretty much, but we're only going to come to about this edge and then down all the way. But It's the only way we're ever going to really know that it's good. So we're going to get to work and wish us luck. Got her hung up here. She's getting there. Actually lays really nice up through here. That works out really good. We just got to keep rolling this section until it keeps pulling her down. As you can see, there's a gap here, but it only goes back to there. So just got to keep rolling her down until this part lays good. And when it does, we'll just do the same to the other side. Simple as that. Got her cut here and here. She lays in real well. Put a little crown in the top. So we're really happy with that. We're actually going to go ahead and do the other side. I ain't even going to record us run it through 1,000 more times. But if we can get the bottom side, which we can, to match the top side, this thing will be in good shape. I'd like to give you more instructions on how to do this, but a lot of it's just feel. You just have to do it until it feels right. Look how good she's laying, folks. We got her laying in there really nice. We ran this side through. We've done the exact same cuts. We put one tack in it just to kind of hold this together. And as we, after we cut all this out, we'll kind of lay that down and tack it together as we go. I think we're gonna cut the roof off of it though, so that's next. Well, we got it off there. You can see all those little round dots. That's adhesive. I was having to heat those up as we went to get this piece off. It's in bad shape, but whatever. We knew it was. We'll throw this away. I'm going to grind all this down, and I'll probably put some E-coat on the inside of this just for the heck of it to help protect it, and we'll move on. Here, pull the car down. Yep. This is stupid. We're too far. It's moved so well. There we go. Let's go. Can't see it. It's all black. Close. I'll see it in there. Go ahead and push hard. There it is. That'll be close. Oh yeah, I nailed that one. I can see it. So I went ahead and cut right here. That lays nice. This actually all lays out really good. I've got to weld up all the rosette welds. We're going to start at the front, kind of work our way back. I left two little tabs for the clecos to go back in, and we'll just work our way around this thing. But I'm just going to get after it, and we'll start right here. And I'm probably just going to do some welding. I'll bring y'all back. Ain't nothing to see, just a bunch of me welding. Well, I got after it. We got all those rosette welds in. I even got the front part there welded in. Let's take a look. Everything welded extremely well. I love it when that happens. Of course, we're welding thicker steel to thicker steel, so you can turn the heat up. It just kind of goes in better. Nonetheless, I'm going to go hit all this with a grinder and clean that up, and then maybe we'll tackle this side, that side. I don't know. I got all this ground down. I'll show it to you. It's going to be so good, especially compared to what it was. So let's take a look. Man, is this thing working out great. So I think I'm going to tip it up, and we're going to start down here and do this side first. But this all turned out really good. I know that you can't tell, but it's good and flat. You know, nothing crazy. Good polyester primer. Block this thing. There might be a spot or two that needs a little plastic filler, but it won't be much, and then it's be good to go. So yeah, let's tackle this side and see if we can't start wrapping this thing up. It's late on Friday, and I probably won't finish today, but it'd be good if we were at least half done with the back half of this by the end of the day. So I'm gonna get after it. We throw a couple of clamps on it and get it started. That looks real good, if y'all can tell. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and weld that. We'll grind that down right quick, and then we'll move on to the back. But yeah, she feels so good. I'm so happy with this thing. Yeah, buddy, look at that. We can definitely live with this. So I've clamped the back and I've marked a line. That's just gonna get us a little closer. I'm gonna do that. This one's gonna have to have a brake put in it, so it's gonna take a little doing. But nonetheless, here we are. So I'm gonna get on that. I'm gonna cut that right quick, and we'll take a look after that. went in and got us cut there. I marked that line all the way down. That's actually got to be a break, just a slight angle to it, nothing much. Most of the ones on the other side, so no big deal. I'm going to take this in here, turn it sideways so we have some working room. Lays so flat, yeah, we got to make a little room, but I'm just going to take a pair of pliers, flat pliers, and just come in here, clamp it, bend them down if I have enough room. If not, I will either make a tool or figure it out, because we got to get a bend in this. Let's see what I end up doing. Well, that wasn't working, so I got a piece of 2x3 steel, cut a slice in it. I'm hoping I can get that in there and just pry it down. It's a lot less space. I went and widened that out just a little bit. That should help us. Oh yeah, much better. Much better. I was looking at it. It's a little peaky right here. Like I'd like for that to lay out a little better. So before we go any further, I'm going to cut this back to about here and see if I can get this to relax and lay down just a little bit more. It's not quite so crowned right here. We'll see what happens. Good Monday morning, y'all. We're back at it. Normally I like to end on Friday, but I want to finish this roof in this episode and be done with it. So that's what we're going to do right quick. Also, I have an abbreviated day. I won't be here all day, so we'll just get it done. We got all that welded Friday. It looks good. This right here lays really nice. We'll have to take just a tiniest bit of material off right through here where it overlaps to make that peak. That's no big deal. We're just going to lay this down, cut it, and then it'll be fine. I gotta cut this back and weld it as we go, and then weld that top. So it's not much. So yeah, we're gonna set this up on a time lapse, and I'm just gonna knock it out right quick. And yeah, we'll get back to it. We got a good deal of that cut back and welded, and I cut this to where the crease in that roof is basically where the seam will be, so we can just grind it down and it'll be fine. I am going to grind it at this point because I'm going to have to flip the car over to the other side. Well, I don't have to, but I'm going to flip it to the other side so it's easier to reach to finish it out. So I'm going to go ahead and grind all this. That way when we flip it, we don't have to flip it back. I'm just trying to make the best of the day. So I'm going to get a grinder and we'll get to work and just get this done right quick. Oh hey, yeah, we're back again. But today, this is the last part of this video, I promise. The only thing we haven't done is put the studs back on the top and back on the back of the window channel and front window channel there. I'm just going to wrap this up, and we're going to do this, and oh yeah, we got one brace to the back we got to cut out. But that's it. The top of this car is finally done. Boy, am I done with it. Let's go back to work. Well, that's it, folks. I got all the little trim rivets on. We are good to go. This was one of those crazy things that sometimes you start, didn't quite know where we were headed when we did, but whatever. We ended up with a nice new roof. This car definitely needed one, and I'm just happy it turned out good. So nonetheless, I'll see y'all next episode, which hopefully will be in a week. We'll see, on something different.